Céad Míle Fáilte. Welcome to the Treasured Tales of Ireland, where we keep the myths, legends, and fairy tales of the Emerald Isle alive. I'm your host, Mylinda Butterworth. If you're new to our circle, you can find our full series playlist linked above to catch up on the journey so far. And if you enjoy these tales, please like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. A quick note for those using closed caption: many of these Irish names are written quite differently than they are spoken, but we have made every effort to pronounce them correctly. Now, let's return to the fire. Today, we continue our saga in the Book of the Fianna with episode 58, The House of the Quicken Trees, part 5 of 13. And it is often the Fianna would have been badly off without the help of Diarmuid. It was he came to their help the time of Miodac, the son of the king of Lochlan, brought them into the enchanted house of the Quicken Trees. It was by treachery he brought them in, giving himself out to be a poet, and making poems for Finn to make out the meaning of. A verse he made about a great army that he saw riding over the plains to victory and robbing all before it, and the riders of it having no horses but plants and branches. "I understand that," said Finn. "It was an army of bees you saw that was gathering riches from the flowers as it went." And another verse Miodac made was about a woman in Ireland that was swifter than the swiftest horse. "I know that," said Finn. "That woman is the River Bowen, and if she goes slow itself, she is swifter in the end than the swiftest horse, for her going never stops." And other verses he made about Angus' house at Bowen, but Finn made them all out. And after that he said, had feast ready for them, and he bade them go into his house of the Quicken Trees till he would bring it. And they did that, and went in. And it was a beautiful house, having walls of every color, and foreign covering of every color on the floor, and a fire that gave out a very pleasant smoke. And they sat down there, and after a while Finn said, "It is a wonder, such a beautiful house to be here." "There is a great wonder than that," said Gull. "That fire that was so pleasant when we came in is giving out now the worst stench in the world." "There is a great wonder than that," said Glass. "The walls that were all colors are now but rough boards joined together." "There's a wonder than that," said Fianna. "Where there are 7 high doors to the house, there is now one little door, and it's shut." "Indeed, there's more wonderful thing than that," said Conan. "For we sat down on beautiful coverings, and now there is nothing between us and the bare ground, and it is cold as the snow of one night." And he tried to rise up, but he could not stir, or any of the rest of him, for there was an enchantment that kept them where they were. And it was the treachery of Miodac, the spells of the 3 kings of the island of the floods that had brought them into that danger. And Finn knew by his divination that their enemies were gathering to make an end of them. And he said to his people there was no use in making complaints, but to sound the music of Dord Fionn. And some of the Fianna that were waiting for him not far off heard that sorrowful music, and came fighting against Miodac and his armies, and they fought well, but they could not stand against them. And at last it was Diarmuid, grandson of Dovna, that made an end to Miodac, that was so treacherous, and of the 3 kings of the island of the floods, and took the enchantment off the floor of the house of the rowan trees with their blood. And when he was freeing the Fianna, Conan called out, asking him to bring him a share of the feast Miodac had made ready for his own friends, for there was hunger on him. And when Diarmuid took no heed of him, he said, If he was a comely woman was speaking to me, Diarmuid, you would not refuse to listen. For if many women loved Diarmuid, there were many he himself gave his love to. And if he was often called Diarmuid the Brave, or the Hardy, or the Comely, or the Hawk of Ess Ruadh, he was called as well the Friend and the Coaxer of Women, Diarmuid na non. And here is where I end my tale for today. But I'll be back with more tales, many more tales. Until then, my friends, enjoy the journey. Slán go fóill. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a thumbs up and comment. It truly helps us.